It's an all-out bidding war to see who can tiptoe the furthest around the volcano without getting burned. Divide the blinks up evenly between all players. For standard play, each player is given a maximum of 4 blinks. If there are extra blinks left over, set them aside. Blinks should load up in setup mode and display 2 spinning green faces. If a blink is not in setup mode, double-click to enter setup mode. Gameplay takes place over a series of rounds. At the start of each round, players must secretly decide how many of their blinks will be lava traps. Out of sight of the other players, take your cluster of blinks in setup mode and single-click any number of them to activate or deactivate a lava trap. Lava traps have 4 red faces rotating around the blink, while safe spaces show 2 green faces rotating. Once satisfied with your trap placement, double-click any blink in your cluster to hide your lava traps under a beautiful green grassy hill. Make sure to remember where you placed your traps. With the traps hidden, all of the players connect their blinks back together into one cluster. On the first round, the oldest player starts by betting how many blinks they think they can click without hitting any lava traps. For instance, the starting player could say, "I think I can click 2 blinks without hitting any lava." The player on their left must now either raise or challenge. If they raise, they must bet a higher number. But if they challenge, the previous player must carry out their bet and prove that they can do it. To complete a challenge, the player must click the number of blinks they bid without setting off a volcanic explosion. To do so, they must start by single-clicking one of their own blinks. After that, they can click any blinks they like. When a safe blink is clicked, it simply darkens and remains on the field. However, if a lava blink is clicked, there's a huge volcanic explosion. If the player that has been challenged sets off an explosion, they have lost the challenge and must take one of their blinks and set it aside out of the game. But if they are able to meet the challenge, then the player who challenged them loses the round and sets 1 blink aside. All players then take their blinks back and double-click them to go back into setup mode, and a new round begins. In this new round, whichever player won the previous challenge, either by completing it or challenging the loser, is first to bet. When a player loses their last blink, they are out of the game. The last player with any blinks remaining is the winner. Be careful, the last few rounds, with only a small amount of blinks, can get very tricky. There is also a hidden function within Tiptoe Volcano that can be used to play a more chaotic variant of the game. In this version, whenever a player loses a challenge and would normally set aside a blink, they instead set the blink to chaos mode. To do this, take a blink in setup mode and triple-click it. The spinning lights will be both red and green. When this blink is hidden, it will randomly decide to be either safe or a lava trap, adding more uncertainty and risk to each round. By the end, almost all the blinks will be in chaos mode, making the board even more dangerous than before.